Hello, I'm Naomi Stonia. I'm a life and relationship coach, and I coach on managing emotions and communicating effectively in personal relationships. Because great relationships are not luck, personality type, or how successful and clever you are. I spent decades struggling so much with this stuff, believing I was some kind of faulty human being until I learned these skills. Life is a very different place for me now, and I believe so deeply in these skills that now I do this for a job. And I have walked hundreds of people through this process and into healthier, happier relationships. And right now, I'm going to share one of these concepts with you. In order to solve our life and relationship struggles, we must step back and look at the bigger picture. But humans find this hard to do. So today I'm sharing a very simple concept to help you with this. And in the next 10 minutes, I will have you looking at all your relationships in a completely new way. You're a sponge soaking in your environment. From the first moment, from all these experiences you have, you create this system of rules, values, and beliefs that you use to navigate the world. And this is your life operating manual. You use this manual to make sense of the world. You use it to make all your choices and decisions. But the most incredible thing about it, most of this manual you're completely unaware of. So, how does this cause problems in our relationships? Well, there are two mistakes everyone is making. Mistake number one, our operating manuals clash because people are unique. So operating manuals will never match. They will always clash. This is completely normal. Life would be so boring if our operating manuals matched, but we don't know this. So we make these clashes personal. Clashes happen in areas like parenting, finances, and work ethic. For example, one person thinks showing love means providing financially, while their partner believes it's about being present, spending time with the family. This is a misalignment, it feels painful, and it gets misinterpreted as a personality fault or relationship problem. And that creates mistake number two. When our manuals clash, it's upsetting. To solve this, we try to impose our rules on each other. So, one partner nags their partner to come home earlier. They criticize them, they tell them their rules are wrong. But the partner just resists because their rules are familiar, they're safe. Their rule to work hard and provide for the family makes sense to them. So they keep going, but all the while feeling criticized and unappreciated. So what's the result? We just get dug down in our positions. We get into gridlock and it becomes a war where we're against each other instead of being a partnership. This concept solves both of these mistakes because it has you neutralizing the clashes and sidestepping the time and energy consuming activity of trying to impose your way of doing of your way of doing things on others, and instead has you stepping back and looking at the bigger picture. We need to understand our own operating manuals first. So, this is how you create emotional pauses. You ask yourself, what am I believing about myself, this person, this situation? You have to look at your own values and beliefs and habits first. What is driving you? Where did you learn this? This feels like reality. It feels like a fact. It's not. It's your operating manual. So this question will bring your operating manual up to the light. When you know your operating manual, you can start to see how it's affecting your relationship. You can start to see how it's creating clashes. And then you can identify areas where you want to, or maybe you need to be a bit more flexible. This way of framing relationships, this way of looking at relationships will have you getting curious instead of judgmental. We get stuck because we get fixated on trying to make the other person see things our way. We don't take a step back to think about why they're acting like they do. Their operating manual is telling them to do things that make sense to them, just like yours is telling you to do things that make sense to you. So we need to stop focusing on who's right and start focusing on understanding each other's manual instead. How can we find common ground? How can we start respecting each other's way of doing things? This will create a neutral way of talking about clashes. You can get it out of the personal and you can start talking in terms of operating manual differences. I had a client who was really struggling because their partner did not agree with, did not see the point, did not want to spend the money on wills and pensions. So this was really uncomfortable for my client. And so the first thing they did was class this as an operating manual difference. Right away, this drops the emotion when we look at it this way. And then my client had to get clear on their own operating manual. Why was this so upsetting for them? What were they believing right now? And what they were believing was that their partner didn't care about them, that their partner was an irresponsible person. That's a scary thing to think about your partner. You're going to have a lot of emotion. That's going to be a barrier to effective communication. So once they'd neutralized that and could see what was so scary for them, they were able to open up the conversation, get curious instead of judgmental, and ask, can you help me understand this? And this got them out of the trap of the attack defend cycle, where we attack, defend, and we get nowhere when we're in this place. They were able to have an open and honest conversation. Still not easy, still really difficult to talk about this stuff, but at least it's open and it's honest. And you start explaining your operating manual, which is this stuff's how I feel safe and secure. So this is really scary for me that we don't have this in place. I feel really uncomfortable. I feel scared. And can I understand why you don't think it's necessary? What were you taught? What did people around you do? And you're having an open conversation. And from here, it's possible to find the open ground, the middle ground. Now, I only do this kind of work with individuals, and there's a reason for this. And that is because there is a secret no one tells us. It only takes one person to change a relationship. When one person becomes aware of their thoughts and feelings and one person changes their responses and reactions, the dynamic in the relationship has to change. We're doing a dance of respond and react in our relationships. If that dance keeps ending up in a place that you don't like, you can right now change your responses and reactions and change the steps to that dance. And if that has you thinking, why the hell should I do everything? The answer to that is that you don't. You just go first. Improving any relationship always begins with one person deciding to initiate change. And so, why would that person be you? Why would you go first? Well, strong relationships, strong personal relationships are one of the keys to success, happiness, and fulfillment. They're the foundation for everything else in life, your well-being, your sense of purpose, your ability to handle challenges. So life is a much better place when you, as a person, operate from this place. So whatever you're struggling with, I want you to know you are not alone. Many people have felt just like you, but they've gone on to create stronger, healthier relationships using tools like this one, and you can too. So I put a little challenge to you. Just give this new way of thinking a go today. Apply these questions to your life and relationship struggles today and see what you come up with. And then let me know. I'd love to hear from you.